Sith Justice Warriors coming at you from a not so typical Sunday. We're on Monday, uh,
Hey,
post Xbox E3. And how's it going? Hope you out.
it's all good. It's been a whirlwind of E3 info. And on top of that, Loki. So it's definitely it's definitely been busy now that we're slowly getting back to something.
Yeah, though schedules are not one of them. So I admit that's a bit more my fault. But just a little PSA tidy cleaning is that we're gonna move our schedules a little bit. For now, we're gonna still stick to the once a week, but we probably will be closer to maybe our Friday. But we're gonna see how that goes. It's honestly the newborn's got. He's trying to figure out his schedule, and then ultimately I have to try to figure out mine. So bear with us as we kind of get the schedules right, and then hopefully keep this going and try to grow this thing. So thank you, everyone. That being said, let's talk about that E3, particularly the Xbox One. I know that there's been a couple companies like Capcom and Square Enix had theirs. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I quickly perused through that, but I look at you had a question. You had some thoughts about Square Enix's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, I actually wanted to talk about that, and I would be remiss if I didn't talk about Black Panther expansion too. But I will
Oh,
cover some much about the Black
no,
Panther
it wasn't
expansion.
Black Panther. I thought it was Kamala Khan. Oh, hey, did you check out that Scientist Supreme? Of course, the Scientist Supreme looked like that, right?
So anyway, they actually announced. So real quick on the Black Panther, I think that was an earlier launch. I really think it was supposed to be later on. But they moved it up, I think, to August as the launch for it. What I'm, what is interesting is that it literally is, you know, I think I think you get to be him. I think. And so um, it's interesting that he's also, I think, Claw is in it, which we all know he died in the MCU. So again, I don't know everything about this expansion, but um, it was nice to see that they're really, still going forward with this vanity project of theirs to push for this game to be the next Destiny.
Well,
Um,
you know what's funny? I actually thought this was a great opportunity to force feed us Shuri as Black Panther,
right? Are
but
you shocked that they didn't?
I am kind of shocked. But you know what? I think even they know that. We actually it's funny. It's funny we're talking about Disney properties in a video game because the other E3 one, I think there's a little bit of a deep dive we need to do on that. But when it comes to I think that's a very touchy subject to replace T'Challa right now
Hmm.
for many
I agree.
things.
The graphics look really good though, in the cutscenes that they released, but as part of the trailer. But again, like it's just it was just interesting that Claw was involved. It was just interesting that um you know I guess you are Black Panther in this. I mean, I
Yeah.
can't envision you as Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel.
No,
Yeah,
I
they
think they're
just
gonna do the. I think they're gonna do the. You're everybody, but
oh
maybe I don't know. That's a good like. But again, it's the marketing switch. You got to be careful because the marketing was about oh, you're Captain America, you're Iron Man, and you're really the main character is Kamala.
yeah. So I'm trying to figure out where she fits in all this Wakanda stuff. That's all because there's no linkage. There was just no linkage. It's not like oh, he suddenly is her mentor because it's not Bruce anymore. Uh, I'm I'm literally like confused. So I'll leave it at that. It looks
Did you like
good,
that
but
they quoted it as a patrol mode? I'm like, wow, they just took Destiny's name,
oh
patrol.
my god.
I will say that they they need to knock that expansion out, the Black Panther one, because quite frankly, they need a lot of good press. I
Yeah.
just think the trouble with this game is that if you're going to make Destiny, you got to make it all about the goodies and the exotics and all that stuff. And you're really just like, for example, like what are you going to do with Mjolnir? You can't change Mjolnir. You
No, you
can't.
can't.
Maybe you
I
could
mean,
upgrade the shield, and definitely Iron Man is a person you can replace parts. But like the idea that like their powers are their powers, nothing's going to change.
yeah. I mean, you could try to get a new suit, but like Black Panther's always just had the Black Panther suit made of vibranium. Like I don't
Or well,
know.
it's not vibranium, right? The movie one, not the first one, the
Like
new
it's like
one,
nano
the nano thing.
nano particles, right? Um. So yeah, like I said, it's interesting that this is considered like an expansion to Avengers because I don't know how it links to it, especially when Kamala Khan is the lead character in that game. So again, not bashing it, it's just interesting that and it's available at no cost, this expansion. It's not like the other expansions that they had, is all I'm saying. So I guess we'll find out. We'll
What
find
about
out because
the other Marvel game?
yeah, so the other Marvel game, which is interesting because it's actually coming from Eidos Montreal.
They
How do you
made
say it?
Deus Ex.
Eidos Montreal, which
They
makes
made
me think,
Deus Ex, and what sucks
okay.
is that they stopped Deus Ex to make Marvel games, but that's a different
Well,
story.
they did actually say this plays like there is a component of this that's like Deus Ex. So I don't know, but there's a lot of codes in Deus Ex, like a lot of problem solving. I remember. So I don't know. I guess we'll find out more. But from what I saw, the trailer looked good. The gameplay looked good. It looks like you play as Star Lord, which was nice because again, why didn't they just make this an expansion? Why did they have to make a full fledged game out of this? But they made a full fledged game out of it. Like it's literally like um this is probably like one of their earlier. It sounds like the Guardians are still new together. Like they've only been together for less than a year. Um, and then yeah, like I said, Star Lord is I think who you play as, and they made it a point to make sure that that was like the intent. And so like that was interesting. And then again, they also had it that it's single player, no add-on DLCs or microtransactions. Um, and I think that way they're safer because then they don't have to worry about things not working properly, like the same way that Avengers. And then I think that I think, like I said, this one looks a little bit more promising because you actually can play as the like you would want to play as Star Lord, and then I think the rest of the team is actually there with you as supporting. So it'll be interesting to see like how you can configure them to play. Like, are they next to you as a defensive or offensive person, or are they like a healer, like an auto mage, like just to heal somebody if they reach like below 50% health? So again, it'll be interesting. I think maybe that's why they didn't take this into the Avengers as an expansion, which would have made more sense. But hey, I thought it was kind of like um it was kind of cool with the music. Like it just had a feel for the Guardians, I guess is what I'm saying. And it being a traditional, I call it traditional to me, like felt more like a traditional game than than like where you're just playing as one character, you have a team, like versus like how complicated Avengers was.
No,
So
definitely, yes.
so yeah, it does look I thought the trailer looked good, so I'll leave it at that. I'm hopeful. I
I'm
might give it a
surprised
try.
you're not ranting though about the fact that He doesn't look like.
Well, I am. I brought that up to you before we got on. Like, he doesn't look like the Star Lord. Let's put it this way: he doesn't look like the Star Lord in the comics. I have an issue with his hair, to be honest, like I did with Black Widow. I have an issue with his hair, and I have an issue with Drax's coloring because he's a little like if I look at him, he's a little bit more aqua than he should be green. But maybe they needed to like identify him a different color because Gamora was more like Gamora is the green she technically should be, and Drax should be a little bit more greener than he is. I don't know. I just love how Groot is holding a llama.
Yeah. No, I think Gamora really looks like the comic book Gamora, which
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like. It's actually made me realize that Zoe said, was it Salada?
Yeah, Saldana. Yeah.
Saldana, sorry. That they did her best, but she doesn't like she isn't the classic. Like again, it's hard to make it in the big screen.
Mm-hmm.
The costume, I kind of like the small differences with Star Lord.
Mm-hmm.
The hair is a little extreme, but I get it. Um, and then Drax, it was weird to hear of like it was sort of an imitation of what's his name, Dave Bautista. I was
Yeah.
like, this just doesn't feel right. And I know, and it's not Vin Diesel's voice for Groot,
Yeah.
but I think this is the one I probably would give it a go.
Yeah.
Just because like the idea that it's there's no false marketing here, like what I
Yeah,
mean.
exactly. There's no false marketing. It's not complicated. It's a very it looks to me like a very straightforward game. Like in the traditional vein of like, hey, this is you play as this guy, he's the leader of the team. It's
Yeah,
like
now I'll give them credit. So I would love them to just go back to Deus Ex because I think Cyberpunk really taught us how to do a futuristic game like that. But oh well, I guess they're stuck with the Marvel money, so leave it at that. What
mhm.
else? Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
think the only other worthy notes were Capcom did talk, I think, Resident Evil Village and an expansion for Monster Hunter, which is overdue. I know you've been working through Village too, so it's not like it's
no, I
new.
have not been working through Bill. I haven't got that yet. It's actually I was playing Seven a little bit for a
Hmm.
while, and
Yeah.
I just kind of I don't know. I'm having video game ADD to be honest. I go
I
from
don't
one to
blame you. There's
another.
too many. There's too many when you have Game Pass. So actually, it's a good segue because that is how I felt with Xbox Bethesda. I was truly overwhelmed. Um, they weren't joking when they said 27 of the 30 games will be on Game Pass day one. And they weren't like Xbox wasn't joking around when they spent $7 billion, or Microsoft wasn't joking around when they spent $7 million. So,
Billion,
um, billion, sorry, billion.
billion.
It's been a long, it's been a long day, but I will say what I did see from there. I can't say every of the 30 games of the 27 games there were no like, oh my god, that's like a hit out of the ballpark for me, like the way I feel about Destiny. However, there were games where I was just like, I want to play that game. And so it got me really excited. And the fact that a lot of them were exclusive, I mean, they are not effing around. And like, um, kudos to them for answering the call that everybody was always like on their case about. And we talked about this before. Like, this is truly what the last few years the culmination of the last few years of work behind the scenes just to get to this point where they could make that $7 billion deal. So the games of note that just come to mind, and I'm literally like, just they're not in any specific order other than that. I I I can honestly think of them. Um, Starfield looked really interesting. I'm not like, is it a series that has been out for a while or not? I don't know, but it looked really interesting to me. Looked like a space opera type of like, but like realistic sort of game, and like I really wanted to like know more about it and play. And it sucks that it's coming out in 2022, but it's nice that it's exclusive to the Series X and Windows PC. So I guess I'm really gonna have to buy a Series X when the chips come in, because like I kind of want to see this game in its like full glory. Um, Stalker 2 we've seen before. I guess I learned a little bit more about it from the like, trailer, so to speak. The other game that was really interesting and intriguing to me was Contraband. I have no idea what it's about other than that box that they kept highlighting and you're smuggling stuff, but I just love the tape. Like I love the I love the music intro and the like
Man, love my
the
steely Dan.
tapes, the like it's just retro sort of feel, and I just really like yeah, like it's set in the 70s, I think. So like I just thought it was kind of cool, like the way they just kind of rolled in with that. It was just a different change of pace, and kind of want to learn more about it. I think it's open world, right? And I think it's co-op
That's
because
what they
like
said. So
it's
I
set it
think,
in the picture. So
and it's
hey,
part of Game
co-op,
Pass.
I'm all about it. The next one that also comes to mind, might have to dive in a little bit more on this one, is the Sea of Thieves, A Pirate's Life. Okay, I just saw Sea of Thieves and I was like, oh, maybe it's an expansion. Then I heard the woman talking, and I literally was just like, that voice sounds like the chick from Davy Jones' locker chick from Pirates of the Caribbean. Like, how could they have gotten her to be like on this game? And then you go into this whole like thing of like there's only one person that can help you, and in the shadows that it's Jack Sparrow. It's like it just literally set it up for that, and I'm just shocked that it's a linkage to Disney. Good for them for keeping that quiet, that it's literally part of the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. What's interesting that it is Jack Sparrow, like considering a lot of the news about Johnny Depp,
I
but
wonder if that's his voice too.
I don't think it is. I kept listening and listening. Like I think that chick is her voice, but I didn't think the person playing Jack Sparrow was Johnny Depp. And I also don't think, I know for a fact I don't know if you noticed, they purposely made him look slightly different.
Um, well, I think it's more of the art style of that.
Maybe, but like
Yeah,
there were some facial features that like made it feel like you believe it's Jack Sparrow, but it's not Johnny Depp Jack Sparrow. Do you get what I'm saying? So I don't
I
know.
I actually thought it was Johnny Depp's Jack Sparrow in
I
the
have to find
style
out
of
then.
like it's this. No, well, I didn't. Well, I don't know if it's. I don't think it's the voice actor. There's no way. But I think it was. I think it was Johnny Depp's Jack Sparrow, but it's not. It's in the style of Sea of Thieves, that blocky,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
colorful.
yeah.
I think that's what I interpreted. But in terms of the actual voice, it can't be Johnny Depp because the man is probably busy with his troubles,
Legal, legal
legal troubles
issues.
right now.
Yeah. No, you're
Which
right. So, like I said, that was a risky play considering what happened, but the fact that Disney partnered with them to let them have at it, and it's a perfect fit, and I actually want to play it. So, like, because I liked Sea of Thieves, like from what I saw, but like it needed something else. And I think this gives it that, like something else. Like you need a mission. Like it's an open world where you keep going on mission, and like I just feel like this is like a story based mission, which is kind of cool, and we'll see where it takes it.
I'll tell you, my perspective of it is it was actually the biggest surprise because I
Yeah.
was like, I know they're gonna give me the Sea of Thieves. I tried it. It just all I was doing was chasing pigs, which was
Right.
kind of fun. But I was like, okay, they have some story, but it's not holding me down to it. And then here you are, and I'm like, okay, what is this crap going to be? And then bam, it was the if there ever was a crossover, that was the one. And it's funny because the lady you're talking about, it didn't hit me that I just thought it was like a typical like
Like
Caribbean.
voodoo, like a voodoo, like, witch, so to
Yeah, that's
speak.
all I thought it was. And then I saw the bone and the dog, and I'm like, wait a minute. And then yeah, then it was like, oh, it's like no way, because I think this is where I wanted to deep dive a little bit away from games. Is I thought Disney, did, for all intents and purposes, there was rumors they were rebooting that series, and it was going to be a female lead,
Yeah, I remember
and
hearing that.
it's all part of Hollywood's typical play, and then they're all in full court press on it, and I'm shocked that you're trying to garner interest for this series. Like for Disney, this is marketing to get people to watch Pirates of the Caribbean,
Hmm.
and you're telling me your way of doing that is by bringing Jack Sparrow in the very mannerisms that Johnny Depp did it.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
is that telling me that Disney understands that they can do all these things all they want, but the money is with the money?
I'm telling you, maybe, just maybe, or maybe this was a deal in the works before and they had to uphold the contract. I don't know. Like, we'll never know because some of this stuff could have been delayed projects due to COVID. Um,
The Johnny Depp thing happened like
Last year, I thought, right?
yeah, Disney's not afraid to cut bait. Look at what they did with Gina Carano.
Yeah, I know. So, I mean, like I said, this was a pretty kept secret too, if you think about it, because, like, in theory, like, they waited. This must have been a Microsoft like thing, like where they did not like nothing got leaked on this thing, you
I
know?
But does that mean that number one, which is I think the obvious thing, is Disney going to bring back the Pirates of the Caribbean? I think that's a yes. But the question is, are they going to just go back to Jack Sparrow, or are they going to still go for it with this
I
unknown?
don't think that it'll be a woman. I mean, if it is, that's a really interesting. Like, did they transport Jack into a woman? I don't know, but
No, they're
like,
not going to do that. I think
yeah,
they just want to go. I think it's like not It's a Small World, Pirates of the Caribbean. Um, what is it called? The ride. I thought that there's a like a character that's this woman who like is technically sold into the market, but she's like not taking it, and it's like her being freed from
hmm.
the clutches of the oppressive male pirates, goes on the seven seas.
What I would like to see, the thing is, though, I mean, sorry to say this, Disney has to realize like Pirates is Jack Sparrow. What they could do is go and do Pirates from like Will Turner's point of view thing, but that's done, like in my mind. Like
Because he replaced Davy Jones, did he
he
not?
replaced him. So it's like I think that story is done. Like, and then the most recent Pirates, like he had a kid, and that is that's that's who it was in the other one. And I'm like, I don't know, that part of the story is done. There's always more with Jack, and so Disney has to realize, like, you're right. That's where the money is. And I hate to say it, like, I'm not condoning whatever it is that's going on in his life, but I mean, and we all know Johnny has his inner demons that he's dealing with, but like, it's kind of like, I look, if we can give Robert Downey Jr. another chance, if people can give Michael Vick another chance to play football, I think that Disney can figure out a way to reincorporate Johnny Depp and give him a job again, and people will still go see the movie. They will. So
I think Disney's probably waiting to see because there's a bunch of legal lawsuits going on, right? Like I don't follow it, but I just see the
no, there
headlines.
are like it's a back and forth thing. The problem is like but that um that next Pirates movie like is probably being pushed out because of COVID. That's what I think. Whatever was supposed to be the next one, I don't think is going to be anytime soon. Let's
When we
put it that
talked about it, they actually had a loss of
way.
revenue, did they not? So I think again, they didn't just do this in a split second. This deal with Jack Sparrow, but I think that the idea of sticking through with Jack Sparrow because I could they reboot and recast him? That's another question.
Like basically start all over.
No,
But
but like
who?
not just start over, but like you know how they did it with Rhodey. Like
Oh
it
my
was
God, just put somebody new. Who the heck would it be though? They could.
yeah. I mean, it could. It doesn't mean that it could work. That's a good question.
Yeah, because like, I mean, yeah, I mean, I have to think that they could easily do that, or they could just shift and do something totally different. Look, Dwayne Johnson reportedly wants to do a Pirates of the Caribbean movie. I mean,
He, boy, he must be
he
really
won't be
good.
Jack Sparrow, but maybe you introduce someone um such a character that could take his place. Let's put it that way.
I
What
think
if you don't give me Jack Sparrow, but you give me someone exactly, not exactly like him, but as like as bombastic as him, as like outrageous as him? You can do that.
I don't know if I could see the Rock. I don't know. Is he a pirate? That's a good question. I don't know.
Well, I was thinking of him as like I could see him as like the ships. Like I could actually to be honest, this is how I think it could play out. Like this is not real or anything. This is my own mind. But what if you make it an adventure tale, similar to the vein of National Treasure? Do you remember that movie? Like, but The Rock, because I'm thinking he was in this movie. He's in this movie, The Jungle Cruise, which is based on that like ride or whatever. Like, if you think about it, he could like he could be like in the present day, but dealing with modern day pirates. I don't know, just saying. Or he could be in the present day doing like historical, like not digs, but like for pirate treasure. Like it's just there could be a couple different ways to do it, but according to a lot of people, they think that this whole Margot Robbie thing is still moving forward, but I think you'd get a lot of people to watch The Rock in the Pirates of the Caribbean movie, and it doesn't have to be the traditional let's go back in the past
Oh,
and
actually,
like,
you just reminded me that Margot Robbie has been casted as
yeah,
the. Sorry, yeah. For some reason, I thought that was a rumor. Actually, no, you're right. She was casted as the lead for the next Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
yeah, but we don't think she's going to be Jack
No, they're
or
just replacing it with a female pirate, which, by the way, historically there are female pirates back
yep.
in the day. So let's not get it twisted. I just
Yeah, exactly. So that's
um,
all. Like she could just be a female pirate. Like again, we we'll have to see how it plays out. But this was a good for me, this was a good move for the Sea of Thieves like title.
mhm.
It was a perfect linkage, it was the perfect fit. I will play it. I will at least try, is what
Well,
I'm
it's part of
saying.
Game Pass, so
Exactly. So I mean I have no reason not
no
to.
reason.
Just a couple more before I pass it to you, but Battlefield 2042 looks awesome. I was just if that truly is the gameplay, like it said with 100 some people in the game, like I was just like, what is this? Like if you want to talk about throwing everything at it in the kitchen sink, this was it. Like I couldn't believe people were like, it looks like PUBG but on steroids, like, and something else. Like, literally, like the terrain was changing. The like there were airplanes flying at you, like on top of you
That's
killing other people. Like, this is truly like insane. And the way it played was so fantastic. And I was just like, is this what Battlefield was? Like,
that's what
or
Battlefield is. Yes.
wow, like it really is. Like, it's a shame because in all retrospect, like Battlefield was probably like the first PUBG. It just wasn't like
Well, no. Let me correct it. So PUBG's battle royale. So they made it.
mhm.
I don't know if they did it first, but I know they made it popular. Battlefield. That's not. Battlefield is like I don't want to call it that. Battlefield fans don't hate me. Like it's the Call of Duty type of team versus team. But
Oh, so it
Battlefield,
is team versus team, so it's not like battle royale. You kill everybody.
no, it's team versus team. The Battlefield does have a battle royale mode, so that's
But
different. But
because it says it supports up to 128 players.
yeah, so the 128 players is like what's that 64 versus 64.
Oh my
But
god.
Battlefield always had vehicles and like you could destroy. So like in Call of Duty, like if you shoot a house and a lot of time, enough times, it doesn't. The building stays right. But
Mhm.
Battlefield, everything is destructible,
Yeah.
and so basically you could camp out. And I'll never forget. I was playing with my friends back in the day at Battlefield 4. We were all camping out in a house and they just basically threw mortar and just destroyed the building.
Oh my god.
um, but yeah, that's why people. It's like people have a Call of Duty versus Battlefield type of preference.
Yeah.
I will say Battlefield frustrated me a bit more because it's not like Call of Duty where it's Call of Duty in my mind is a little more arcadey, like an arcade game. Like you
Hmm.
run, you have to have the quickest reflexes, and you're probably good.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's more to it, but Battlefield's a little bit more like I guess a Battlefield. But I
No, it's
actually
like
said,
being in war. Like it is. Like I feel like there's oh my god, like the way the gameplay was, it was like you may be hiding, but there are jets flying around you, storms like fly, like I don't even know what else to say. Earthquakes happening.
oh yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm very tempted to pre-order this, but I don't know if I need to pre-order because it's just a beta you get, but I'm not gonna lie, I think, I think I have to buy this game unless they tell me that it's on Game Pass the day before, which is the rumor.
Yeah, I mean, this was the one that they did not say was going to be on Game Pass, but yeah.
But if
Oh,
that was the rumored one, but it's the pre-order money. So if you wait a bit, like is what Outriders did. Outriders
waited,
waited
yeah.
to the last minute to say, yeah, by the way, it's all Game Pass.
Mhm. Yeah, it was like, oh yeah, just so they didn't piss off everybody. But
Well,
yeah, I mean,
well, Xbox has got an easy. Their return policy is actually pretty easy as long as
oh,
you don't play it a certain amount of hours. I think.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I'm gonna skip ahead though, because there's a couple other ones that I do want, but like I'll skip ahead to the elephant in the room, and that is Halo and Infinite. Um, I'm I'm shocked it's gonna be ready for this year, holiday season. No date, but holiday season.
Every other game has a date. Even Starfield has a date, but Halo
They
doesn't.
did they did make it a point though to say that the guy, the creative director was out that was speaking was like the one who was there from the beginning. Considering a lot of people didn't react well to the very first time they did this. And they were a little bit more careful with what they showed, I noticed.
Mhm.
Versus what they showed the last press like, you know, Xbox sort of event, like where they were actually like in the game playing and then people were like, what the hell's going on with this game? They did like caveat in the trailer, like this is true actual gameplay footage, which looks pretty cool. But like I said, um, I mean, was, like I said, was never a Halo fan, like, in the sense that I played it all. But I actually want to play the multiplayer. Excited about it. I like that they had different outfits, so I wonder if I can choose my, like, class. I don't know.
You can
Like, I
change
was like,
gender. You could be a female Spartan if you want.
oh, cool. But I wanna know if, like, the, like, armor represents, like, a specific class or something. Like, that samurai armor was pretty cool.
It was cool.
Yeah, and then, like, I like this whole, like, multiplayer mode, and then I'm just wondering, can I play with you the same way as in Destiny, and, like, we can do story mode together? That's the only question I have. Will make it better for me. It definitely looked a lot better, and it looked like it looked a little bit more cohesive than when we first saw it. Um, but, like I said, I'm I really hope that this goes well, because isn't it the 20th anniversary of Halo? Like,
Oh,
so
that's a good question.
this game,
I
like,
think
they
it
have to
is.
do it. They have to do it this year because, yeah, 20 years. They have to do it this year. There's no excuse anymore. Talk about crunch. This is it. You can't miss launching on the 20th anniversary of this game. So, just saying.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
I liked the story mode trailer. What I actually had this revelation watching that story trailer was I really liked Halo 4 because it really stopped being a typical shooter story. It was actually this character. It was a relationship story between Master Chief and Cortana,
yeah,
and
and then didn't Cortana die?
he died at the end of 4.
Sorry,
Spoilers.
spoiler.
Um, and because she was in the Halo universe, AI cannot live past a certain time. I want to say it's 7 years, but if they go beyond 7 years or something, let's just say 7, they go insane. So they
Uh,
usually delete them. And so when the end of Halo 3, they were in space for like years. So she obviously went past 7 years. And so
mm,
she was going, it's they call it rampancy. So she was going rampant. And so she decided before she died, she would like help you kill the main bad guy. Halo
mm,
5, which is that had to have the occasion there, Michael Coulter. Um, so basically Chief went rogue and found I don't know how Cortana survived or a fragment of Cortana survived, and she just basically took over the ancient technology and just decided to wipe out everything.
okay.
So she went bad, and so Halo ended that Infinite is about you fighting her, or I guess he's gonna stop her, or whatever. And so when it was like seeing this, she looked like Cortana, but obviously not. They it was weird how it's like he put another AI into him. It's like he he's like you know going with another person, and it was just like is kind of for a person like me who's like read some of the books and read some comics and played every damn Halo. It was good. Um, I think the story mode is co-op,
Mhm.
but we'll see.
Yeah.
I I don't know if they're trying for September launch and then bait, but giving themselves fudge room if they need a couple months. I don't know. They have to do it in 2021 though. You can't. You
No, you
can't.
just can't F this up. I'm sorry. Like, you cannot F this up on the 20th anniversary. Like, you're already saying it's, like, been 20 years. Okay, well, guess what? You
Yeah.
better launch it. You don't get another chance, because then you have to wait for the 25th year. Like, it's like,
Right. So
um,
good luck. We want I want a good Halo.
I
Um,
wanna get Halo too, because this will be the first one I ever play. Like, come on, like, seriously.
yeah,
I really
true.
do. Real quick, just honorable mentions, the ones that look different, but I really want to try were Hades, because I think that reminded me of the traditional RPGs we used to play on, like, Sega Saturn. Like,
Mhm.
that looked really cool to me, and I love anything Greek mythology related. And then Replaced was an interesting one because it was like, I don't know, it looked like Blade Runner, but like in like pixels or
Did you
whatever.
ever see the Last Night, the trailer for the Last Night back in I think 2018 Xbox E3?
I gotta
It
remember.
looks like that. I was so excited about that. That pixelated with cyberpunk colors and all that stuff.
Hmm.
So if I have to wait for the Last Night, this is at least I can play Replaced.
Yeah, so that looks good. There's Fallout, which I mean, I tried Fallout, but I just couldn't get into it.
Yeah.
And it's like, no offense, I really thought like I'm not a Fallout person. Diablo 3, I really want to play. I still have to play the other one. Um, but let's talk about and Redfall. That was another one that's like up my alley. Since I can't get the Vampire or the Masquerade, I might as well do that. And then honorable mention goes to the mini fridge, because I know you're gonna want that for your
Yeah, that's
birthday.
that one.
Um, but I wanted to take some time to talk about Forza. That's why I saved it for last. Give you some thoughts because I know you play Forza Horizon. So
Yeah, so I love Forza Horizon. I the cars are so beautiful. Forza Horizon. I honestly I play it slightly less for the game, but for the soundtrack.
yeah,
I just go to it's a Pulse Radio. Forza One still to this day has the best soundtrack. You had Mike Chrome. I'm sorry, not Mike Chrome. Mike Snow, not Mike Chrome,
hmm,
the artist. Mike Snow. You had you had Empire of the Sun. um,
cars.
oh my
Yeah,
god. Oh yeah, and Cars too. So I played Forza One, loved it. Forza Two, good. Forza Three, oh good. And then Forza Four, where it's set in England, right?
yeah,
I didn't, I didn't love it. Forza Four really swung though with the fences for the four seasons. Like you actually could play in England with all four seasons: spring, summer, fall, winter.
nice.
Um, and it was just honestly the cars. It just didn't have a car I loved,
Yeah,
and I just like played it. I'm like, I'm done. And then I heard the rumor that Forza 5 was in Mexico, and I'm like, ugh, everybody wants Tokyo. Everybody, because the
yeah.
colors, the
Hmm.
neon lights, the Tokyo drag racing. It would be so awesome, right? Like
Hmm.
Fast and Furious, even though Fast and the Furious was already in Forza expansion for 3, I think, Forza 3
Yeah,
or 2. And then I saw it because I actually was thinking Forza 5 would be next year, not this year.
yeah,
And I'm like, oh my god, this looks realistic.
yeah,
And I called you and I'm like, is this Cabo? And you're like, yeah. And I'm like, crap, I've been missing out on freaking Cabo. So I have to say, the photorealism of this, I got like, if anyone says Xbox cannot do photorealistic games, they
yeah,
just have to look at Forza Horizon 5 and that flight simulator, right? Like
yeah,
they literally take laser technology to scan these cars, and then they just take HDR photos of 12K to just get this realistic. The presentation is just staring at a Mexican landscape, and then bam, the cars are there.
yeah.
So I was so skeptical because I really wanted to just drive in Tokyo and just drive around Japan. But I realized that when I saw Mexico, I'm like, I see why they went with Mexico. Just the diverse terrain. You got desert, you
Hmm.
got the beach, you got some road. And you know what? Forza Horizon's always been about this wide open music, well, car music festival. I really think it feels
Yeah,
overused.
yeah, you always describe it as that car music festival.
No, because like it to me, like if you're into, you know, that
Techno or yeah.
techno, rock, alternative, or hip hop. They added hip hop, I think, around Forza 4 or 3.
Hmm.
They finally added hip hop and rap. So I I mean now it makes all sense, all the world to me why they did it in Mexico, and I could see why there's such a hesitancy to put it in Japan because one, there's a lot of expectations that in Japan it's going to be all this cool neon lights and stuff, but then at the end of the day, Japan is a small island.
Mm-hmm.
I see why,
Mm-hmm.
but I was like, okay, I might actually have to put some time into Forza Horizon.
And there is terrain in Japan. I mean, if you go north, there's definitely, and then, but like everyone thinks of cars in Tokyo, and then like, but where if I noticed in Forza, there are different, like exactly what you said. You could be in the desert, you could be in the beach, you could be in the rainforest. Like, I don't think you'll get that if you're talking about terrain. I don't know that you'll get that much variety, sadly, in Japan. You'll definitely get forest. I mean, there is forest in Japan. There's probably
Mountains.
like volcano, like, like there's definitely Mount Fuji area, but like there's city, but like you're not gonna get rainforest. You're not gonna, I mean, you could be in the like beachy sort of area of Japan where like the military base is, but like there's only, like you said, so much. There's more depths like in other, you if they do Japan, it might turn out to be like London, like the UK, like you said. So it's like,
Yeah, because Forza 4 was not in London. It was in like the countryside.
okay, got it.
Like that's my point is that it has to be. Well, I know because Forza 1 was Colorado. Forza 2 was, I think that was, I want to say Australia, and then 4 was London. And I forgot what 3 was. I think I have to double check with 2 and 3, but maybe 3 was Australia. Oh, Europe. One of them was Europe. I think it was 2, and I want to
Mhm.
say Italy.
Oh
But
yeah,
yeah, that's my point. It's like this. It's always this area where you could drive long distances.
yes, yes,
Maybe
exactly.
Forza Horizon does a Japan pack, and maybe Forza 7, Forza 7 or Forza 6 becomes China, and you have Japan as an
Yeah, maybe
expansion
you do like
pack.
an Asia tour. Like I could honestly see them doing Korea. Like, you know what I mean? Like Korea, like Busan, like you if you think about it, they have their own sort of, or yeah, China, because you have Great Wall, you
Mhm.
have Hong Kong, you have like, it's
Yeah.
like, but again, it might be too soon, who knows? But like,
Oh yeah,
so
that
so
too.
yeah, so I think you're right. You're onto something there because, plus, if you think about it, like all the places you've mentioned kind of makes sense. Like you just said Colorado, like it kind of fits Mexico now that you said it. It just doesn't come to your mind immediately, like racing Mexico. No, but like kind of like I'm looking at it again and on the like laptop, and I'm like, oh, this is really cool. Like I just love the racing in the town. Like it's just, yeah, like now the next time I go, I'll be thinking of that. So um oh, before we move on, there's a couple other ones. What did you think of this Plague Tale? What the heck was that?
Oh,
I was I what that Atomic Heart, like there were a couple that I was just like, what are these? Like, and
so,
whatever happened to that game where the woman was a medium? Did that come out already?
yeah, that's been out. So
Oh, okay.
it's only for Series X or S. So you're gonna have to upgrade.
Mhm.
Your PC may be able to play it though.
Okay.
So you have Ultimate, so you actually can download it if you want.
But yeah, that Atomic Heart was quite confusing. It was like a Soviet, like it was like a Russian song, but like it felt like a Japanese game. Like it was like I
Really,
was like,
it was definitely set in like the Soviet Union.
it was, but it felt like with the robots and stuff, felt like a Japanese, like it really felt like a Japanese movie. Like I don't know, I just thought that was. that was interesting.
12 minutes. I shout out to 12 minutes because I didn't realize
Yes,
that McAvoy, Ridley, and
Willem Dafoe.
Defoe being a bad guy. I
Yeah.
have to give that credit. That's pretty cool. Oh, and your game Yakuza Like a Dragon as well.
Oh yeah, I have to download that. It's like maybe this weekend because I didn't know anything about that like series except like it's about a Yakuza, but like I didn't realize it was like an anime. Like he literally was like, time to phone a friend,
Oh,
and
that
like
was awesome. He's
the
like doing
chick
like
was
little
like
games.
using a phone as her like weapon. Like I just thought that was like such a I don't know, it was such a it just reminded me of like Japanese anime, and I was like, I have to play that game. I was just like, I have to play it now.
Yeah. I think for me, a couple other ones to shout out to. I liked the Outer World 2 trailer because it was basically saying, yeah, we're going to do it, but we have no idea what we're going to do. Did you catch that? It's like,
Yeah.
this trailer, a good trailer needs to have serenity, and my voice needs to be a certain way. Now let's break it up and have something destroy the serenity. And here's a scene of the main character, but you're not going to see the character because we haven't even drawn the character.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Actually,
And
there's one more game. Oh my god, one more game. What the heck was that dog game?
oh yeah, the party animals. Oh my
Yes,
god.
I don't know why, except the fact that I have corgi and it just made me think of my corgi. I have to have that game.
It's
Party
all Game
Animal.
Pass.
Already?
Oh well, in 2022, and it's
Oh.
going to be cloud gaming,
And
so
why
it's
do I
going to
have to wait till 2022? Like, it looks so simple, but like this little dude is like bopping his head and he just runs around hitting people with a shovel, hitting people with plungers.
You
Oh
know
my
what?
god.
You know what that reminded me of. That's why the reason why outside of the funny animals that I actually like this
Mhm.
game, it gave me Power Stone vibes.
Yeah.
I miss it. Really realize I miss Power Stone.
It was the very like some people like say this is like the Mario Smash Brothers thing. But like this is just I don't know, it's just so the pig, like I was like that pig is like a punk rocker or something. Like this was like is it out right now on Steam?
No, no, it's not out at all. So 2022 is when it's going to be out. But yeah, it's definitely something that I would actually play. Thank
You
goodness
can
for
actually play with other people and kill like they were just like lifting a big thing like the two dogs were like trying to like work together to hit the other one
Did you
like
see the
with the
one where the was it the dog threw the alligator into the oven?
yes I did but even like they both picked up a big block and threw it on somebody like I should, I'm watching it now the otter is like
Yeah,
whacking
the
people
otter.
with a bat. I just can't even.
Yeah, the what else was I think Eden Chronicles. That was a Kickstarter I supported. Thankfully,
Nice.
I kickstarted for the PC version because I'm getting this Xbox One for part of my subscription, so I'm happy about that. Um, and I think, I mean, you covered a lot. I do want to say they did made it a point to let us know that the Gunk, that vacuum game, is still coming out.
And the little kids that shrunk.
Oh God, yeah.
What
Well,
the heck was that one?
there's a lot of people that really like that game. So
For kids, I
kudos.
could totally see that. It's like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Like I could totally see that game being kind of cool. Like I just for me, it's not. You know what? You know what? That's what I wanted to say. Like the Xbox Bethesda presentation was a good mix of niche games that like really appeal to people in a specific niche. So
Mhm.
like that Party Animals game or even the 12 minutes game, like if you're a lover of Call of Duty, most likely you're not gonna get 12 minutes. But you know, if you like puzzles or things like that, you might go get 12 minutes. So it's like very niche titles, but then you have your classic titles like Halo, Forza. They talked about Elder Scrolls. We didn't even talk about that. They talked about oh my god, what else is there? So your traditional sort of like staple of right now. But like I really liked the diversity of the game offerings that they had. Even the Gonk, even the slime ball one. There was like one with like a slime ball. Even the 2D ones.
Slime Rancher, you know.
Yeah, Slime Rancher. Like even the like yeah, the Outworld one. Like they have some really interesting titles. Like, like back in the day, you were always like not you, but you'd always look forward to a Mario game, um, a like a Capcom fighting game, and like you there were always titles that you knew were like a surefire. Like these are titles that like to me, like I said, some of them are niche. Like but the fact is they developed a lot of them, and like you're not always going to get the next Call of Duty, you're not always going to get the next Resident Evil or what's the, like Doom or like whatever, but these games are kind of cool. Like like I said, we just went through a bunch of them. I would still play them, but it just amazes me that a lot of work was done around these getting these 30 games to where they were, to considering everything else. So kudos to the people who worked hard to get them that. Like it's a lot of it's a lot of games to be talking about in one sitting, and I'm like I said, it was overload for me. But the fact that the games were very diverse, it's not all one thing. Like it's not all car racing, it's not all sports, it's not all like shooter, it's not all, it's actually quite diverse, which I can appreciate.
So what would you give it out of 10?
Um I would give it like an 8.5, 9. Like I think I think they did a better job than before. The reason I dock it is because I do think they played it safe with what they shared.
Mm-hmm.
Only though because of what happened last year, like this being virtual,
Mm-hmm.
I think like they had to play it safe with some of the things that they showcased. I do think that there were some things that they could have like been a little bit more clear. Like, why is there no date for Halo? Is it because it could potentially be launching sooner, or it could potentially be missing the 20 years like anniversary?
Dude,
Um,
yeah, that's a scary thought.
right? Like that, like I said, like I'm happy though that they came to the table with so many, and I like the format that they did it in. They actually were on the stage. Like it wasn't like last year's, if you remember, like it was a little bit like
Well,
yeah.
last year's also was the same thing, right? They also COVID killed E3 live, but they had
Yeah.
more people talking,
Yeah.
and I'm like, just show
Just
me,
show
like,
me the
like
game. Let me be like the deciding factor of the game. That's what it is. So I feel like that's the thing. Like I feel like the fact that they just kept going, like, and maybe I do think maybe the order was better too. Like I feel like I feel like last year, like didn't they spend so much time on Halo and then it was such a letdown for people?
yeah.
Like,
Well, a lot of people felt that it felt like a last gen game. Craig became
yeah,
a meme, and yeah, I think the problem with Halo was that it was trying to do as best as it could at the beginning stages of the pandemic, and you know what, it just didn't show well. This one is clearly showed it can.
yeah,
So I think that it's learned its mistakes. Would have been nice to know more about the Starfield, like what's the gameplay like, but I think they're saving that one. I think they must be really excited. Um, and then the Redfall one, again, that's like new IP. I don't know about the art style, but I'm willing to give the art style a try if the gameplay is good. But at the very
Mhm.
least, it's no cost to us for our membership.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Okay, that's the one thing I want to say. Like, and I hate to sound like I'm getting paid for it, but I'm not. Like, I was just like, it's like if I hate it, I don't like have to feel bad that I bought a game because I can
I
just
hear you.
I can just take it off my cloud and download something else. What would be cool, hopefully next year, is that a lot of these become available on cloud gaming, like in the sense of like I noticed some of them were and some of them weren't. Like, can I play these on my phone?
Oh, speaking of which, did we talk? We didn't get to talk about that. The fact that Microsoft went separately, thank God. They
Yes.
didn't put in part of their E3 trailer their plan to get it on everything, but
Yep.
they're getting it. This was to be expected, right? With XCloud, they were going to put
Mhm.
it in your TV. They were going to put it in your Fire Stick. They were going to put
Mhm.
it in whatever, which is like now making me wonder if I should just get a better foldable laptop, tablet, and
I
just
just
get
need a
ready.
better TV now then. So I don't need an Xbox. I just need a better TV.
I mean, it's like obviously it'll play better. Like you'll probably get your real 4K 120 on
Yeah.
obviously a Series X, but the idea that if I'm on the go and I have the cell service and data,
Yep.
because honestly, it does a pretty good job. There are days, like where you have like 15 minutes and you just pop your phone in just to get a
Yep.
round of Destiny in, right?
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I the future is now. A lot of the
Mhm.
people were fighting this, and I think the reality is that this is the opportunity to get your 1 billion gamers.
Yeah, and I'm all for it. I just need better, like, now that I have the phone, it's like I just need more games to be available. Not that I don't like Destiny, but I just want more. I want more options if I'm not, like, let's say I'm not in the mood for Destiny. What option can I play? Yakuza? Like, can I? Like, I almost tried it the other day, but it wouldn't work. So I was just like,
You got to
I was
upgrade.
like, oh man.
I think you got to upgrade what you got to do. Um,
Exactly. One last thing before we call it a day. We probably have to unpack the Sony thing. Were they at E3?
no,
I don't think they were.
they already did their state of play, as far as I recall. I thought they had just
So basically that counted and they just weren't taking part. Okay.
no,
Yeah.
they I think they did their state of play, which was showing off no, Horizon
Yeah,
Forbidden West,
Horizon. Yep.
where
Zero
yeah,
Dawn
the
and
six
Forbidden West.
months or
Yeah.
so since Forbidden Dawn, Horizon Zero Dawn,
Yeah.
Aloy got a thyroid condition, and you know, it kind of that was funny. Is like there was a controversy over it. Obviously, people took their sides. I just thought it was like funny the art direction. I'm like, you're in a world where there's no decadence, and somehow it looked like she just had a lot of sodium. uh, Again, that's what the directors want to do with the art. I'll be sure the game will be fine. I just found it odd, given that it's
I
almost like
think
that.
she had a bad day. How about that? Let's just call it what she had a bad day.
Maybe so it's that time of the month.
I don't know. I'm just
Is that what you were insinuating? Like,
I
does that?
can't.
Oh my gosh.
I was
Uh,
thinking that, or she was just crying. I don't know. Her face is swollen because maybe she was crying. She was really upset. I don't know.
I say this out of a joke, but
Me too.
honestly,
Me too.
it is an interesting direction. I don't love the character. Like I played Zero Dawn, and I could not keep myself to play it. And it was a PS4. I don't have 60 frames. I was thinking about maybe the experience would be better on PC, but I just don't have the time. That's why I have to say this Game Pass stuff is really keeping me on the Xbox ecosystem. Before we go though, my last thought on this thing, I was actually going to give this a 7 out of 10, but thinking about it actually a day after and like rewatching some of this stuff. I gave it an 8 as
Mhm.
in that vein. I think for me, a lot of great games, a lot of ones that I'm interested in. I'm happy the first party's clicking. My concern is that not a concern. It's my issue is there was something missing and I can't explain it. I just don't know what I was missing. It's not the rumored studio acquisitions because there was rumors that they were going to increase from 23 studios to 26. I I think I don't know. Was it Persona 5 being on Game Pass? I don't know. I think that was probably like that's a rumor. It keeps flying around every all these months, and I'm like,
You were looking for something totally off the wall to be announced, and that didn't happen. I think
I
that's what
think
it is.
if Persona was announced as a coming to Xbox and on Game Pass, I probably would have gave it a 10 out of 10.
You were expecting, like, Miles Morales Spider-Man announcement kinda
And
thing.
I don't know. Like it's weird.
I
I
think
just
you
don't
were.
know what I was looking for.
I think you were. You were waiting for them to say, "Now you can be Spider-Man in Marvel's Adventure." Well, that would
But
have
you
been Square
can't.
Enix, but I'm saying, yeah, like, you could like, you were waiting for that, like, it's like,
No, I think actually seriously, I think I was waiting for Persona 5
yeah.
to go to Xbox, and actually them announcing Persona 3, 4, and 5 are coming to Xbox, and it's oh by the way part of Game Pass, like the way Yakuza's entire series is.
Oh, just give it some time. They gotta hold
Or
off.
or they would announce Final Fantasy 7 remake on
Yeah,
Xbox.
that would have been nice, but again, you know what? They gotta wait it out because they need better news if they can't deliver Halo on the 20th anniversary.
That is true,
They
but
need something to fall back on if they can't tell you that Halo is coming out on the 20th anniversary.
I just don't know what I. Yeah, I think if those one of those two made it, I think I would have given it a 10 out of 10. But
Mhm.
oh, otherwise, it was a better show than last year, which is
It was
always a good thing.
definitely I agree.
Which we didn't see any gameplay footage of the gunk, so no vacuum game, no deer simulator. We'll leave it at that. So with that said, hope you all enjoyed the show. Please like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications as we try to get this weekly thing back on track and hopefully get some more stuff out there. So thanks for sticking with us. You can also reach out to us at Just the Sith, and we will be posting within a few days the podcast versions on Spotify and such. So, till then, see you on the Sith side.
Bye.